Aarav had always been drawn to the unusual, the things most people overlooked. Maybe that's why he noticed the antique mirror in the dusty corner of the bookstore. It wasn't particularly beautiful. Its silver frame was tarnished, and its glass had faint cracks along the edges, but something about it felt alive. "That mirror's been here for decades," the shopkeeper said as Aarav ran his fingers along its frame. "No one ever buys it." Aarav smirked. "Guess I will." That night, he set it up in his apartment, right across from his bed. He had no reason for doing so. Something just told him the mirror belonged there. The girl in the reflection. It started subtly. At first, it was just a feeling, a nagging sense that something wasn't quite right. He would catch glimpses of movement in the mirror when he wasn't moving. A flicker of light, a shift in shadow. Then, one night, as he lay in bed scrolling through his phone, he looked up and froze. There was a girl in the mirror. She had long, dark hair and piercing green eyes. She wasn't scary, just watching him. Her expression was calm, almost curious. Aarav spun around. There was no one in his room. Heart pounding, he turned back to the mirror. The girl was still there, but this time she smiled, a reflection that wasn't his own. He didn't tell anyone. Who would believe him? Instead, he started talking to her. She never spoke back, but she reacted. When he told her about his day, she would tilt her head, listening. When he cracked a joke, she would laugh silently. And then one night he whispered, "What's your name?" For the first time, her lips moved. No sound came out, but he understood. Ria. Falling for a ghost days passed, then weeks. Aarav found himself rushing home every evening just to see her. He learned to read her silent expressions. She wasn't just a reflection, she was someone trapped. One night he sat in front of the mirror and asked, "Are you real?" Ria hesitated before slowly placing her palm against the glass. Aarav did the same, pressing his hand against hers. A cold shiver ran up his spine. Then, for the first time, she mouthed something he couldn't understand. "What?" he asked. She tried again. This time, he read her lips. "Find me." The truth buried in time. Aarav didn't sleep that night. He scoured the internet, searching for anything about a girl named Ria who had gone missing. And then he found it. A newspaper article from 1952. Young woman missing, last seen near mirror factory fire. The photograph showed a girl with long, dark hair and piercing green eyes. His heart stopped. It was her. The article said her body was never found. The factory had burned to the ground, and with it, Ria had disappeared. The last night. That night, Aarav sat in front of the mirror, trembling. "I found you," he whispered. Ria smiled, sad, relieved. She reached up, pressing both hands against the glass. The mirror shuddered. Then, for the first time, he heard her voice, soft, distant, like an echo from another world. "Come with me," his breath hitched. "Where?" "Home." The glass rippled like water, and before Aarav could react, a force pulled him in. The apartment the next morning. The next day, Aarav's friends knocked on his door. When he didn't answer, they broke in. The apartment was untouched, except for one thing. The mirror was gone. In its place was an old black-and-white photograph of a man and a woman. The woman had piercing green eyes. And the man? He looked just like Aarav.